포스텍은 국내 최초의 연구 중심 대학으로 올해로 개교 37년을 맞이했습니다. 건학 이래 소수정예 교육을 통한 세계적인 수준의 고급 인재 양성에 힘쓰고 있습니다. 국내 공과계열 대학 중에서는 최상위권으로 평가받고 있는 포스텍. 과연 국외에서의 인식은 어떨까요? 포스텍을 선택한 외국인 교환학생들의 이야기를 직접 들어보았습니다.
Hi everyone, my name is Muhammad Rido Zuhairi. My friends and family usually call me Rido. I'm 22 years old right now. I'm from Indonesia and my home university is Bandung Institute of Technology. In here, I studied in industrial and management engineering, especially for my final thesis. It's a good question actually. I choose POSTECH because I was selected as the GYP programs awardees. One of them is you basically were given just POSTECH choices. But to be honest, like living here right now, I don't mind. Like POSTECH is, when I research about it, like POSTECH is one of the best research universities in whole of Asia, especially, and I think it's like subjectively much better compared to like my home university. So yeah, and like I think like South Korean in general, like they have an edge in technology, research and education. So I want to learn like, what does it feel like studying abroad, being like in one of like best universities in Asia. So that's why I think I choose POSTECH in general.
Hello, 안녕하세요. My name is Yasmin and I'm from Canada. I'm an undergraduate student in my 4th year in environmental engineering. The reason I chose POSTECH, actually there are quite a few. One of them being the traveling component. I wanted to travel outside of Canada where I live. And I hadn't been to East Asia before. So my options were China, Korea, Japan, and Korea was the best in terms of schools available that offer my program, which is kind of specialized environmental engineering. And also POSTECH is very good as a school. I think I didn't have other options for schools, mostly because of my program. So it was only POSTECH for me, but I do really enjoy it. And it does have the bonus of being near the sea, which I can't have in Canada. So it's good. Other reasons for choosing POSTECH are that it's more rurally located, which I think is beneficial. It's a really nice area, lots of nature, and it's near Gyeongju and other places that are great for traveling and sightseeing. It's also really convenient to travel to Seoul or other big areas, Busan, in Korea, because the distance is so short compared to Canada. So it's easy for me to travel to big cities if I want to see something that's a little bit more urban. But I also get to enjoy the benefits of being in nature. Other reasons? I like K-dramas.
Hello, my name is Jeanne Darbon, and I am a French engineering student here as an exchange student in POSTECH. The reason I chose POSTECH was mostly because it was here in Korea, but I could have gone to other countries, but the reason I chose POSTECH was because of one of the classes here that allows me to get more specialized into the field I want to work in, and the laboratory that goes with it.
반면 포스텍에서 겪고 있는 어려운 점이 있을 텐데요. 외국인 교환학생들의 의견을 들어보았습니다.
About difficulties living in POSTECH in general, like I came from a tropical countries, especially I don't have like 4 seasons, like maybe adjusting to like the period of like the transition between like winter time and autumn. Like, yeah, usually in my home country, you have like the temperatures around 30 to like 20 degree, like the coldest it gets, I think it's around 15. So the most difficult part is adjusting to the temperature and the weather, I think. But for most part, like, I think I'm well adjusted right now. I mean, I love Korea. The food is great. And I still see a lot of like common values in terms of like my country people and also like Korean people in general. So yeah, about difficulties, I think I have managed to overcome that. To be honest with you, I don't find any difficulties talking or communicating with my professors because like I'm before coming here, I was given a choice to select which laboratory and which professor that I want to help or like join the research with. And one of them, like one of the considerations that I take is the professors graduated from overseas? Like, I pick mostly the professors that is from Western universities such as Texas University, and right now my own professors, he graduated from Switzerland, so right now we don't have a lot of communicating problems. And like, to be honest with you, I think he speaks English very well, and that's the part that I didn't expect. So yeah, regarding that, I don't have any difficulties communicating with him. Right, translation in general, I think POSTECH has been really accommodating for foreigner students. Like, you can see a lot of the signs and mostly facilities also named in Latin alphabet, so you can basically, you know where you're going, or like, you know where some place is, but outside, I don't think, like, I need to still talk about some translation issues. But in general, like in POSTECH, we can still see, when I go to the GS, I think like the cashier can speak or like understands what I'm saying. So the translation problem is, I managed to get by. I mean, it's difficult for everyone, especially foreigners, but I think we're all just finding a way for us to get by every day, I think.
I believe there are 4 things for me that I can think of as being problems that I have in POSTECH or difficulties. The first 2 relate to courses. So especially at the start of the term, there's a lot of volatility with courses. And as exchange students, we go into this and we're not aware of it. No one tells us that there's a likelihood for courses to be canceled or changed. So it does happen quite frequently in POSTECH, but we only find out about it when we arrive. And we also have specific course requirements we have to meet, specific credit requirements. So the courses we can take are usually limited, and finding out that the courses you've been planning for 6 months don't work, it's not a good feeling in your first couple of weeks, because then you wonder, will I be able to have enough credits to graduate or like to make this term work for my home university as well. The other one was classes in the first couple of weeks. Professors will look at the class and they'll see, most of the people here are Korean students, maybe 1 or 2 foreigners. And occasionally they'll say, okay, well, from now on, all the classes will be in Korean, even though the course was originally registered as an English speaking course. So that's not something that I experienced, but I know some people have had troubles with that, and it's a shame. The other one, I think for myself and for most people, is it's really challenging to get involved and make friends with domestic Korean students. So actually, I don't take Korean classes right now, but I do know that quite a few exchange students do. It's pretty typical, especially to take basic classes. It's also a requirement for students that receive scholarships as part of the exchange program. Personally, though, I don't see it as being a big issue. I think that there are classes available, maybe not at the advanced level, but definitely basic levels are available. And for most students, it's like if the issue is more how to get involved in Korean culture or meet with domestic students and become friends, and those are more the areas that people struggle in. I don't think taking Korean classes necessarily helps with that, because one is the class is full of English-speaking students. They're not domestic Korean students. And the other is if they're taking the class, they're probably taking it at a basic level and learning just the basics of how to say your name in Korean or introduce yourself. That's not enough to survive a Korean conversation with real speakers. So it's, I don't personally see it as being a big issue.
The main difficulties I had staying here at POSTECH was getting close to Korean students, because most of them are kind of afraid of speaking in English. So we stay between foreigners, so it's hard to integrate to the normal Korean community. Another difficulties I had here in POSTECH is having Korean classes, because the classes that are given by POSTECH happens most of the time during regular schedule. So when we have like technical classes, we cannot access this Korean class, and so it's hard to progress speaking in Korean and understanding Korean. Here at POSTECH, I enrolled into 3 different clubs. one dance, one singing, and one like religious club. Depending on the club, the answer is different. In some clubs, students are nice and accept to try to speak in English with us. But in other clubs, they do not change anything compared to normal. So we kind of just stay on our way outside. The benefits of joining clubs is first to meet people. So the ones that are willing to speak in Korean, we can meet them, and so we can like integrate more with the Korean students. But the thing against joining clubs is that it takes a lot of time, and most of the time exchange students want to travel, and some clubs happen during the weekend, so we cannot travel anymore.
마지막으로 외국인 교환학생들이 교내 환경, 시설적 측면 개선에 대하여 학교에 바라는 점이 있는지 들어보았습니다.
Right. Regarding the areas that I want POSTECH to improve, let me give you some context. I love working out, especially like I think I go to the gym like 4 times a week at least. And yeah, when I usually go to the POSTECH gym or like the 24 community center. And one of the things that concerns me the most is that in 24 community center, like it's a really nice facilities actually, like the equipment is like really clean and the areas, environment is like really nice for working out. But sometimes I think for me myself, like I'm an enthusiast for working out, and I still find that the 24 community center equipment is really lacking in terms of like you got the basics, but not all of them. And for POSTECH one, so I usually just go to the POSTECH one, right? And when I go to the POSTECH one, the hardest, like the most annoying thing for me is that sometimes you see a lack of like hygienic stuff, like cleanliness. I mean, in my home country, or like when you go to the gym, they usually have a wipe for every equipment. So after you work out with that equipment, you wipe it off. But I think in here, they don't provide you that, so I just bring my own towel or cloth to clean up the sweats from before I use it and after I use it. So, right. And other things is that sometimes I still see a lack of like trash cans outdoors. Like one time, like I was opening my bottles like to drink, and I held the can for like 40 to 1 hour. Just because I don't want to throw it away, and I cannot find a trash can everywhere. Like maybe you can find it at like near the dorm or like near the GS or like near the restaurants or something like that. But for the most part, I think the lack of trash can could mean some problems like in the future. So maybe people would just start piling up trash everywhere, because like in my home country, you can find trash cans like every 20 meters apart outdoors. So yeah, for me personally, POSTECH, I think it should need more trash cans outside.
So things that I like about POSTECH. Actually, I like it a lot. I'm really, really enjoying my exchange term. And part of me is considering, should I take an internship in the future here or come back, and considering like master's program, because I do really enjoy it. The parts that I enjoy most, the campus is really beautiful. It's also quite large. I was shocked when I first came here because my home university is really small in comparison, even though we have a lot more students. I think POSTECH's also great because of its location. It's near Yongildae Beach. It's also near like Hyoja and you have Jukdo Market. There's a lot of things to do in the area, and it's easy to go out. Also, I think largely for the Korean culture, because in Canada, people hang out with each other. We have friends, but we don't spend a lot of time together. Usually you meet with someone maybe once a week and do something together, but you're not spending every day together. But here, since I came, every day there's always like a new activity, someone new to see, go for drinks, go eat chicken together. There's always something. And I really enjoy the social component of being on campus. So I enjoy a lot about POSTECH, and perhaps the thing that I enjoy most culturally about being at POSTECH is the social aspect. So in Canada, we do things with each other maybe once a week normally. Also, in winter in Canada, it's cold. No one goes outside. No one like sees each other. You just stay at home. But here, it's every day. There's always so much to do and so many people that are asking me, oh, let's go eat lunch together. Let's do dinner. Let's get chicken. Let's go for drinks. There's always something. And you're always able to hang out with other people, which I really enjoy. And there's one other thing that I do enjoy a lot, which is the clubs on campus. So I'm involved with two of them. They're Voces and Guitar Hana. And I really, really enjoy being a part of clubs and being part of the performance aspect. In my home university performances, clubs don't really have performances. They're more just a small commitment that you do. And it's a way to meet people, but there isn't an end goal. So I really enjoy that here we have a performance as an end goal and that we're all working really hard to achieve that one goal. And it's a great way to meet people as well. Things that I would try to improve about POSTECH. I know there's been a lot of discussion of classes and how classes are registered in English but then offered in Korean because the professor decides to switch. Personally, I don't think that's a good solution if a professor or students are uncomfortable in English, because it doesn't really help you improve and it doesn't change it or make things better. I think more needs to be done to look into resources available on campus for both professors and students to become more comfortable in English or to acquire accommodations while taking courses that are in English. Other improvements are for exchange students, not myself, but there are a lot of exchange students that have specific dietary requirements like halal and vegetarian and other things. I think POSTECH does a great job of accommodating vegetarian, but things like halal, it would be great if there was a little symbol or something, an ingredient list somewhere on the school cafeteria menus that told people what includes what components each day or what ingredients, so they'd know and can check it and know whether or not they can eat in the cafeterias. I have a couple of friends that struggle with that every day. I think another area of improvement for POSTECH, specifically relating to like exchange student integration into the campus and into the student body life, is providing more opportunities for exchange students to meet with domestic students. So we have the buddy program right now, but I think it's quite limited, partly because it relies solely on your buddy and what their ambition is. And most people start out with a lot of ambition and they probably think, oh, I will, every day I will go and I will do activities with my buddy and I will like support these students who come to me. But what actually happens is people have school, people have work, they get busy. And most people only meet with their buddies once or twice in a term. So providing more opportunities outside of the buddy program, like mixers or some sort of social activities where we can interact with domestic students who are, comfortable in English, or they don't have to be comfortable. They can be trying to learn English. It's a great way actually to talk with exchange students to try and learn and improve. But more opportunities to do that so we can be involved and we can make friends.
One thing I thought about that POSTECH could improve is the awareness of students regarding environmental issues. Most of the time, people do not mind about the water consumption, waste, or even electric consumption. And I think that it's something that they could improve to raise the awareness of students regarding these issues.
글로벌 리더 양성을 표방하는 만큼 앞으로 교내 구성원 모두가 노력해야 할 것 같습니다. 지금까지 포항공과대학교 방송국 PBS였습니다. 감사합니다.